risky behavior.
We about to jump into this video by the legend himself, Jesse Lee Peterson. I can't get enough. I'm telling you, man, I haven't heard not one lie from this man. I know he be screwing with people's minds and stuff like that. He does a little bit of antagonizing and saying things to get you out of your character, but ultimately he tell the truth. But this video, just so you know, Jesse Lee Peterson had made some comments about Black Lives Matter. This guy is friends with the people from Black Lives Matter. So I guess he came on the show to defend Black Lives Matter. And this one, it ain't a new video. It's an oldie but a goodie, but it's not like old. So anyway, let's jump into the video.
Black Lives Matter.
Yes.
And how long have you been a member?
Again, to 2014.
And did you know that Black Lives Matter was an organization that was founded by a bunch of fat black lesbians who hate God, who hate the family, order of the family, who hate the unborn child, and they admitted, at least one of them, that they're a Marxist group and they've been trained to do what they're doing. Did you know it was founded by some fat black lesbians?
Wow. So, okay. So first of all,
Did you know that?
What we're not going to do is insult folks, right?
See what I mean? Antagonize. he just he just be fishing. They be biting that bait. He just reel them on in.
So.
Well, they claim to be lesbians and they fat and they're black.
Well,
I didn't do it.
So.
But did you know that it was founded by them?
Well, yes, but also too, like I said, we're not going to insult them. That's not cool, right? So don't do that again.
Would they consider that an insult?
Yes.
Why would they claim to be that? Why would they consider it an insult?
Well, time out.
I've interviewed them.
So again, like I said, like we're not going to talk about them like that.
But you knew it was founded by them, right? Before
Yes,
you
yes.
joined.
I personally know them, right? So we're going to stop that part.
And you knew that before they joined. What made you join, knowing that? Because normally men don't follow women like that. What made you do it?
Well, so I want to touch on a couple of points that you brought up.
All right.
Right. So first off, right, like I think, well, you're a working man, right? You have people who work here.
Yes.
Do you know why you get weekends off, or why people have weekends off?
Right.
I'm asking you.
Rest. To rest. Supposedly to rest.
Oh,
to reflect and take care of things around the house.
Okay, cool. And
supposedly to rest.
I'm assuming that people typically might work, you for full-time folks, 8-hour work days.
Some of them, the lazy ones don't, but.
Yeah. Right. So that right. So where do you think that the idea that people should get time off and that the workday shouldn't go on for 12 and 14 hours, where did it come from?
I don't know, but it's a bad idea.
Is it?
They need to work 24 hours a day. I want to make them slaves.
Wow.
But somebody came up, probably some stupid union or something.
Whoa.
But,
Okay. So time out, right? So you said somebody founded some union.
I said probably some stupid union came up with that idea.
Well, so again, so I think the challenge, right, is that those, like, having a day off or having days off, right, like, and having 8-hour work days is ideas informed by Marxism, right? The Communist Manifesto specifically speaks to the worker. That was created, right, like, and that is what led to the creation of unions that protect people's labor. So I wouldn't necessarily frame that as a bad thing, because I think most of your viewers kind of enjoy their days off. So they have Marxists to thank for that. So I just want to let you know.
Are you a Marxist?
Am I a Marxist? I think what I am.
I will admit that I do enjoy days of no working. So I wish no one had to work. I wish we lived in a world where everything was free. right? And that would be beautiful, right? Like, think about this, right? What if everybody just had a job? Well, first of all, in my idea, I guess for my idea to work, everybody would have to have an essential job. It'd kind of be like when you watch those movies about the end of the world, right? And so at the end of the world, everybody's job is a job that is needed, right? So you got people that farm, well, agriculture. So then you got the people in charge of the security, like weapons, securing whatever land or property y'all are living on. You got the people that go out that hunt. You got the people that cook. You got the people that are making clothes and washing clothes. You got the people that are in charge of cooking. You got the people that are like the doctor, and then you got like the scientists. But they're still kind of too, I guess, on the agricultural side because they're making sure that enough food is being grown. And the people in charge are making sure that food lasts and stuff like that. So in my idea, though, that would be like a great world, right? Because you don't have to pay to stay where you live, right? Because the person that might be in charge of building homes doesn't have to pay the doctor when they go see the doctor, and the doctor doesn't need to be paid because when he goes to get his food for the week, he doesn't have to pay the person that's over the food because that person doesn't have to pay this. So basically you have a community of people where everybody is doing a job that is needed and just no one has to pay anybody. Everybody just lives off their own and each other's resources. But of course, in a world like that, it could be no greed, right? So if you was a person without a family, you would live in a 1-bedroom place. You wouldn't be allowed to be a person like it's just you by yourself, but you stay in like a big old 5-bedroom home. But if you did have a family, like if you had a wife, you had children, y'all, depending on how many kids you have, if you have 3 kids, y'all could stay in a 4-bedroom place. So that's like my idea, but I don't know what that falls under necessarily. Sure, somebody in the comments will say it, but that's my idea, and I think that would be a happier society, right? Because people wouldn't be money motivated. People would do what they actually love and want to do.
Right, is I'm somebody committed to the liberation of oppressed peoples globally.
Are you a capitalist or a Marxist?
I'm definitely not a capitalist, no.
Are you a Marxist?
I think what I am is I'm somebody committed to the liberation of oppressed
But
peoples.
I'm asking you, are you a Marxist?
Again, like I said, it's not that simple. If you've read...
Are you a socialist?
Have you read Cedric Robinson's Black Marxism?
No.
No.
Well, I'm just
I'd
trying to
encourage
find out
to
about
read it.
you. Are you a socialist or a Marxist? I think they're both pretty much the same, but which one are you?
What I am is I'm somebody dedicated to the liberation of all oppressed peoples.
And so you're not a capitalist, right?
No.
So you don't believe in earning your way and getting paid for your earning?
Well, I think the broader issue, right, is that people assume that isn't in socialism, or people assume that isn't in, right, like other economic forms of being, when that's not the case. People work not only to earn their wage, but also to earn their way into the community.
But not
right?
socialist people.
Well,
They are controlled by others.
well, time out. How about you define what you think socialism is?
It's people who want to control other people.
Okay, and where did you hear that from?
Common sense. Because when you look around, that's what
Time
they
out,
do.
time out. Is that common sense,
Yes.
or did you read it from somewhere?
No, it's common sense. I've been in the world for a while now, and I see how, I remember when the blacks were not controlled. I was born in Alabama on a plantation, and black people used to get married. They thought and did for themselves. They were not controlled by government. Because I didn't even know about welfare because blacks were not into that. They didn't have black leaders. They didn't accept all
When
this.
were you born?
They didn't accept all
What
this
year were you born?
wrongdoing. It's been so long now, 49, I think.
Oh, you were born in
49.
1949.
Yeah.
Oh,
And
so
let me just
and
make this point though, because of time.
okay.
And so blacks were individuals. They thought and did for themselves. They looked out for others when time of need at the right time. But when the so-called civil rights movement started, black people sold their lives over to the so-called black leaders and then the government, and now they are like groups, and they are being controlled by the government and by other people who are insecure, and they need a sense of security, so they keep blacks down in order to control them. But I want to know
And
what made, as a man, what
He does have a point with that. I know when we were fighting to sit on the front of the bus, a lot of people don't know that at that time we did have our own black taxi, like taxi cab services, our own, actually our own black bus lines and stuff. We had a lot of our own stuff. So when you do hear those arguments, like I know a lot of people get, well, today, a lot of people, they seem to have a problem with Martin Luther King because they don't feel like we should have integrated, because when we did, we went into their system, but it's not like they came into our system. So we went into theirs, which means we invested into them. No one invested into us, and a lot of the things that we had went away. However, though, I don't feel like Martin Luther King or people from his time, it's not like they had a crystal ball to see into the future. They were just trying to stop a lot of the violence and things that was going on. So it's not like they did that on purpose. But I just say that to say, Jesse does have a point.
made you decide to follow Black Lives Matter? Because normally men don't follow women, especially radical women.
Well, before I go there, you had mentioned that in this transition in civil rights, or how you framed it, you had mentioned that that at some point black folks were self-sufficient, and because of civil rights stopped being self-sufficient.
Yes. First of all, there's no such thing as civil rights, but they sold themselves over to that.
Okay. Hold on. So I think the challenge, and you had also said at a certain point that people didn't receive welfare, right? That people didn't receive it.
Never heard of it until I moved to the city.
Okay, so now let's take those ideas and let's dive a little bit deeper.
Real fast, because we run out of time. We have some more guests coming up. But I'm enjoying talking to you.
Okay, well, again,
I want to know what made you as a male decide to follow a bunch of radical women.
Well, I think...
Now, that's not normal. What made you decide to do it? What made you decide to do it?
I think the issue isn't whether or not, like men can follow women's leadership. I know I can, because women can lead, and women can do a damn good job leading.
So were they created to lead or follow?
Women were created to be full human beings.
Were they created to lead or to follow?
That women were created to be full human beings.
How about were they created to lead?
Again, you're doing that thing where you're saying...
Because you're not answering my question. You're a really smart guy. You get your doctoral.
Yeah.
You're a smart guy from UC Berkeley. So I'm asking you, were women created to lead or to follow?
Women were created to be full human beings. That's my answer.
I didn't ask that question though.
But that's my answer.
How are you going to get a good grade up at UC Berkeley? You can't answer a simple question.
Well, I think as somebody who is a researcher, the answer is never directly in, right, like the question. The question itself is the problem. So that's why I'm giving you a different
What's the
answer.
problem with that question?
Because the answer would then assume that we're like, well, if I say that, well, women are meant to follow, right, then that means that women are somehow incredibly subservient. That is not the case at all.
So even if it's true, you can't say it?
No, it's not true.
But if it's true, could you say it?
No, it's not true.
No, I didn't ask you if it was true or not. I said, if it was true, would you be able to say the truth?
Well, but that's not true.
I didn't ask you. I'm asking you, would you be able to say yes, the truth to that, if it was true?
Well, I'm not going to answer a hypothetical question because that's not true.
Amazing. So do you believe that Black Lives Matter?
I do.
What does that mean?
Black Lives Matter means that black people and their full humanity right, their lives should not be harmed or stolen by state-sanctioned violence.
Who does it matter to?
Black lives should matter not only to us, but to everybody.
Not sure, but who does it matter to?
Black lives matter to everyone. And
Like who?
everybody.
Like who, for example?
Everybody who's a contact in your phone, all the people here, whether we're talking about the state, whether we're talking about the government, whether we're talking about the police, whether we're talking about people in our community.
Does black lives matter to black people?
Absolutely.
Or why are they killing each other?
So to get to that point, I think, right, like when you talk about issues, especially of intracommunal violence, right, people kill who they're next to. Like people don't just go out and kill somebody because I'm killing you because you're black, right? Like when people commit harm, when people commit violent acts, it's oftentimes in retaliation to something or it was for a specific reason, right? And
I wonder, would he give that same excuse to, let's say, a police officer?
And then when that happens, those people are then, put through the criminal justice system and prosecuted for it.
So
right?
black lives
Time
only
out. I'm not done talking. I'm not done. I'm not done.
All right.
I'm not done talking, right? There are community organizations that have been fighting back against that type of violence for a very long time. Let's say, for example, here in Los Angeles, we have an organization like Second Call that was working against, that's been working, right, to make sure that gangs don't have beef with each other. They work on ceasefires between neighborhoods that have been, working, or that have been, right, like at war for years, right? So there are organizations that are doing the work to stop the intracommunal violence. So black lives have always mattered to black people. Organizations like the Brotherhood Crusade, organizations.
But because of time, do black lives matter to those black people who are killing other little black children?
Yes, like black lives.
Yes, it matter.
Yes, black lives matter to
Well,
black
why
people.
are they killing those children then?
Again, right, like what you're missing in this broader thing is that, again, intracommunal violence is a broader challenge, right, like that we have worked on internally in our communities for years, right? Like people never ask those questions when white folks kill 85% of white people. That's not called white on white crime.
Does black lives matter enough to black people that they will encourage two parents in a home?
I think black lives matter enough to black people to where it doesn't matter what kind of parents we have in the home.
But do black lives matter enough for black people to encourage two parents in the home?
I think black lives matter enough to black people to where we want to make sure that we build a better world for black children.
Do white lives matter?
I think, yeah, like nobody would ever say that they didn't.
But do they?
Yeah.
Okay. Do black lives matter when it comes to the unborn child or unborn children? Because there's 70% of parents Planned abortion mills in the inner cities, and they're killing black babies like 90 going north in the womb. Do those Black Lives Matter to Black Lives Matter people and other blacks?
Well, what about the mother? Because abortions are about the mother and the decision that that mother makes, right, about what's happening with her.
But I'm asking you, do those Black Lives Matter to black people?
The black lives that matter to black people are the black lives that are currently existing.
But not those in the womb.
The black lives, well, so all right, look, you want to talk about what's going on in the womb, let's go there. Why is it that black mothers don't have access to maternal care? Why is it that black mothers, when their kids are born, right, they go to hospitals and they don't have access to the resources? Serena Williams, right, who is a famous tennis player, almost died giving birth to her child, and she is a rich athlete, right? So before I stop, right, like again, yes, black kids in the womb matter to black folks.
But you didn't say why she almost died. He just saying stuff, but then he said the black lives that exist. So if you get an abortion, you got an abortion for something that doesn't exist? You terminated something that didn't need to be terminated. Like, and it's like, you know, when you have a debate with somebody or like an argument, it's like you can still be Black Lives Matter, but you don't have to just lie and just for the sake of winning just go against everything. Like if like an honest person would say like if I was Black Lives Matter, right? And somebody said, well, hey, do Black Lives Matter when we're getting all these abortions? An honest person could say, well, no, but that's why we have Black Lives Matter, is because we want to start pushing that idea into people, and that way, hopefully, as a community, we can do better. But we don't have to excuse everything that we're doing to each other in our communities for the sake of winning an argument. We could just be honest. That if you agree with something someone says, you can be honest, agree with them, and it doesn't take away from your stance and what you're doing for your community and the things that you're fighting for. So there's no reason to just be disingenuous. I mean, come on.
But the issue is that systems continuously treat us bad, right? So regardless, whether we're talking about abortions or even if we're talking about going through to give birth, right? Like kids are coming into this world in a racist environment. So before I answer that question about, yes, do people, do black kids matter in the womb? Yes, they do matter. And yes, black kids do matter in the womb.
But not to Black
right?
Lives Matter. They don't care about that.
Well,
they made it clear they don't care about abortion.
Well, no.
And how do you excuse, basically, because he brought up the whole black women having children. I mean, so your excuse for abortion is, I guess, well, if they wanted to have the kid, they wouldn't be able to have it anyway. I don't get why he.
No.
They're in favor of abortion.
Talking about Black Lives Matter is in favor of black women having autonomy over their bodies. That is a very different framing than saying that Black Lives Matter doesn't care about that. Because what we do know is that people get abortions for very different reasons. People don't just get abortions because they want an abortion. I support women making the healthiest choice for themselves.
How about abortion?
If an abortion is that, then yes.
Do you support same-sex marriage?
Yes, people should be allowed to get married to whoever they want to.
Amazing. That's mind-blowing. Isn't that like amazing? You got to admit that amazing, right?
What?
Being a Christian, you would support all that.
Well, so Jesus loved poor people. Jesus publicly defended.
He loved them enough not to kill them in the womb.
Jesus also loved a prostitute enough to defend her in public.
Right, but not to kill her.
Yeah, and he stopped people from killing her, a prostitute.
But you guys are not
public.
stopping them from killing them in the womb.
Well, we're trying to stop people from killing us in regular life.
But not in the womb.
So again, right, like, I think the broader issue that you're trying to bring up and that you're trying to provoke is this idea that, you know, for some odd reason, that to Black Lives Matter, the broader network or the organization, that other segments of black folks and black lives like don't matter to them because we only care about police violence. I think that's what you're doing.
If black men and women got married,
hold on for 1 second. I think
he's starting to catch on, but Jesse already got him. He hooked. He just reeling them in. He fighting in the water. He like,
The issue is that you're only thinking of this organization, and that since this organization isn't addressing all those other things, right? Like that, for some reason, right? Like that, like they don't think black lives actually matter. Understand that black people, black communities, and other black organizations have been addressing all of these same issues, right? Like for decades. There is a work group, right now here in LA County, led by a woman named Adoja, that's focused specifically on African American maternal health, right? Like,
Let me just say,
and
because of time, I'm totally run out of
well,
time. I want to
well,
ask you real fast. If black men and women got married, would they then have to kill the children in the womb?
well, I think the issue is, right, like, regardless if black men or women get married or not, is the woman going to be healthy enough to take that pregnancy to term?
Are you in favor of dismantling the police departments around the country?
I'm in favor of broader public safety, and police are not the ones who help to keep communities safe.
Are you in favor of dismantling the police departments?
I'm in favor of reimagining public safety so that way we can take that
I'm
money
black
that
and
police
slow, and I
use.
don't know what that means. Are you in favor of dismantling police departments?
I'm in favor of building up departments of real public safety, and police are not that.
Do you believe that there's something called systemic racism?
That's what I've said this entire time.
And what is it?
Literally everything I just said.
What is systemic racism?
Well, it's one thing for one individual person to say a racist thing or do a racist thing. It's
What
another
is a
thing
racist thing?
So let's say, for example, when George Zimmerman killed Trayvon Martin, right? Like what happened was he was on the phone, like calling him all kind of different names, and then right, like proceeded to follow him.
So
Right.
that's you did not follow him for the reason you said.
Well,
But is that
time
systemic racism?
out. That was an individual act of racism. The systemic part, right, is that it took, over 30 days to arrest him, right? Then after taking that long to arrest him, then right, like the case went to trial, and then he eventually got off because the legal system protected him. So that is the systemic part. The individual act was protected by the systemic part.
Do you believe in innocent until proven guilty?
I believe that our entire court and judicial system is problematic and that it needs to be changed.
I'm going to ask you, do you personally believe in innocent until proven guilty?
Yeah.
Do you discriminate?
But what do you mean by discriminate?
Do you discriminate?
Well, again, right, like define discriminate.
You don't know what that means, and you go to Berkeley?
No, I know exactly what it means, but
So
I think
do you
you have a very different understanding of words than I do.
No, I don't. That's what I'm asking you. Do you discriminate?
No, I don't.
You never discriminate.
No.
Amazing.
I think at some point we just gotta realize, I understand. I think Black Lives Matter. I think the issue with Black Lives Matter really just comes from the name. When you hear a name like that, like Black Lives Matter, it's like a powerful name that they chose. And I can understand people with Black Lives Matter saying, well, hey, we only want to deal with police. So don't expect us to do anything else. Right? But I think they have to understand when you choose a name like that, people are kind of looking for a little bit more than just that. They should have picked like a more strategic name. They picked such a broad name that people are expecting more from something called Black Lives Matter. They could have said policing the police task force could have been their name, and people would have been like, oh, okay, they only deal with police stuff. But when you say Black Lives Matter, it's so broad. People are looking for more than that, So anyway, hope y'all enjoyed the video. Go check out more Fallen State, just Lee Peterson. And he has a lot of interviews and stuff, real good stuff. But make sure you like, share, subscribe, hit the notification bell. Be sure to comment below with any thoughts. Let me know what you think about the video. Risky out.
Risky behavior.